There's something about funerals, man, make you think about your own life. It's kind of like weddings. When you go to a wedding, you think about your own wedding, and how your wedding was, and especially when they do the vows, takes you back to when you did your vows with your spouse. I enjoy weddings. Funerals. Um, Funerals are really good. I think I go to support the family, but also remind myself how fleeting this life is, and what will people say about you at your funeral? What will your family, friends, what kinds of things do they say about you? And it's always a significant thing to hear other people's stories, stuff I didn't know. Like our bass player in our praise and worship band, his mom passed away, and she played organ in the church for like 30 years at another parish. And she's like 91 when she passed away recently of like Alzheimer's, basically. And, during this COVID thing, it was just a real mess. It wasn't from COVID, but anyway, so it was real difficult on the family during this last few months. But they're at peace because she was suffering. I don't know if you ever had known someone, maybe your parent, that died of dementia, Alzheimer's, but kind of when you lose your mind and, you lose yourself, you become a different person. Not the best way to go, but anyway. So they're really at peace with it. But thinking about, what kind of impact are you going to make? Like when they, Stephen Covey talks in that book, what is it? Stephen Covey, The 7 Habits of Highly Successful People, I think. He talks in there about writing your eulogy. What would you want people to say at your funeral? And, and I think he was talking about it in terms of mission, what your mission is in your life. And so funerals are good to support the family, but also to think about, what will they say at yours? And I think that we start thinking, like for me, I'm closer to the end than the beginning. It makes me start thinking about what am I going to leave behind in terms of legacy, in terms of the legacy that I've put inside my children to carry, my name on, to carry on. And, that truly becomes a legacy. But I think your legacy also is in how you touch other people, right? How you've made an impact in other people's lives. And I don't think you should think about selling life insurance as anything less a mission than anything else that you could do with your life, touching others' lives. When you can help them achieve their financial goals, when you help them, ease the burden of their death on their loved ones when they've got plenty of money to carry on, to take care of their final expenses. I don't think that you should look at your vocation anything less than that. I think what we do is a noble thing. And I think you need to, think about that more, that what we do is noble. What we do is honorable, right? What we do helps people. So I think you should look at it in that light. And I think you'll respect yourself more when you respect the business more, right? This ain't just a way to make money. I mean, you can look at it that way, and then it becomes a pain in the butt, all the stuff you have to do to make money. When you look at this as just to make money, then you start measuring everything you're doing, like, am I getting paid for my efforts, right? And if you do it right, and you do it the way we teach, you will get paid for your efforts. You'll get paid abundantly for your efforts. You'll get paid based on the value that you add to other people's lives. It's just how it works. It's the law of compensation. It's God's law of compensation, right? So when you look at it that way, when you frame everything that way, then what you do is what you're supposed to do, right? You don't get a participation trophy, okay? You know how this society now has lulled our children, right? The kids coming up now with participation trophies. Like, I'm a baby boomer. Ain't no participation trophy in any games I played. You were either a winner or a loser, right? You're either number one or, if you came in second place, you are the first of the losers, okay? And it's not to say you're a bad person because you came in second place. It just means that you could work harder, try harder to compete, to, obtain, whatever, So I could talk a long time on that. The participation trophy mentality. It's like I've never been down participation trophies. There are people that are better than other people at certain things. And we need to recognize the top people. Like on this call, I look at the different people on here and I go, man, y'all have an opportunity to be the number one agent in our base shop every week. Y'all really do. You aren't doing anything, you aren't more special than anyone else. That's the thing about the participation trophy. Everyone's special, everyone's special. Man, you're all special in the eyes of God for sure, because you're a child of God. But when it comes to, what we do for work and what we do with this thing, man, some people are more special than others. It's results, okay? It's results. The people that are putting numbers on the board are the ones that care more about people than you do, than other people, okay? They help more people. All I can see is that they're serving more clients, so I just assume they care more about people than other people. I don't know. That's the way I look at it anyway. So funerals are, makes you think. Yeah, we all have different talents. That's funny. I was talking to Patrick about that, Annette. I don't know if I should say this because it sounds too, I won't say it. I won't say it. I won't share it with you because it makes it sound too opportunistic and cynical. Well, I'll just say it like this, Annette. She goes, we all have different talents. Okay, so Megan Wood, the number one agent of my hierarchy, she's killing it. Okay, I'll say it like this. Okay. Megan Wood's killing it. She got 100 grand in the bank and she's burning hot. Why would I or Leventovich take her off her game and tell her she should focus on recruiting? Right? What numbskull would ever tell her, Megan, okay, you should start recruiting now? Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? You know how much money I make on her? Why would I ever want her to take her eye off the ball if her talent is producing like crazy? Does that make sense? I make an 8% glow bonus on Leventovich's base shop. He's got a big ass base shop, He's got a big base shop, which includes Megan Wood. Why would I ever want her to stop doing what she's doing in recruiting? Right? Now, people say, well, you should treat everyone the same. No, I'm not going to treat everyone the same. Look, if you can't close a barn door, well, then bring me people that can. Right? Recruit people that can, and I will work with them in your group, and I will blow them up so they pass you. Okay? So that you eventually can get a glow on them. So bring me people, and I will find the ones. Right? And when I find them, why would I want them to recruit? This seems kind of crazy, huh? It may have this tinge of cynicism in it, but if you're running a business, now I think she should recruit. I think Megan Wood should recruit at some point. It's not now. Not now, man. We're riding that horse, baby. We are riding that horse. That sounds bad. That sounds bad. I'm going to cut that part out of the video because, I mean, really, seriously, you find someone who's like a massive producer, ride that horse. don't take their eye off the game, man. Don't talk to them about recruiting. Don't talk to them about the end game. Like one day they're going to have to get out of the field and, you know, have income coming in. Like, you know, when I say, do you want to sell till you're 80 years old? Well, I'll tell you what, man, I would want Megan Wood to sell till she's 80. I'll find someone else to build, but I'm not going to have her build a business. Oh man, that sounds so opportunistic. But that's just how it goes down. I'm a builder. I'm a builder, man. Anyway, yeah, that's probably not for public consumption. That's just within us here, just among friends. Who was on my builder's call last night? Well, I did a different, not builder's call. I mean, I did the plan for the Alliance last night at 9 p.m. Tell you what, I haven't done a plan like that in a long time. I just like was talking turkey, man. I was talking straight at him. And it was really good because I didn't hardly use any videos. I used a couple. That was about it. I just went straight at him between the eyes. You know, one of those plans, I did show the numbers because I always show the numbers. I think the numbers just speak for themselves. But I just told them what's up, straight up. And I think they got fired up. You know, there's not a lot of feedback, but I think it went well. I think I saw Bruce's popped in. I saw Bruce in there.
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah. What part did you stay for?
I had to jump off. I wasn't on there very long, but I saw it looked like you might have gotten started late or something because I got on late, and it seemed like you were towards the beginning. It's about 9:30. I didn't know.
Yeah, I didn't do a normal show the plan.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why it sounded like I was doing the beginning because I was.
Okay.
I was telling my story about my academy buddies.
Yeah.
And then I went into how people that are in 100% commission sales, you've totally separated yourself out. I mean, I just went into my story and it was like a good, I don't know, 20, 25 minutes going into, it was more of a platitude, an attitude session. Then I showed the numbers. Then I showed some success videos. It was short, sweet, but to the point. You know, none of this, none of the flower stuff. I mean, look, I mean, when it comes down to it, why does someone need to know? People know we got a system. I mean, we've been doing this for so long. We have a system. You don't follow the system, you're not successful. I mean, it's just simple. I really appealed to them as new people wanting to see if this is going to be a right fit for them. People that want to make money, right? And so they don't, you know, people that want to make money, they just want to know this thing's going to work. They don't need to know how. They don't need all the details. We got leads. That's all you need to know. We have a lead program. We've got a sales system to close the leads. This is how the numbers work. Here are people being successful. This is my story. I made over $12 million in the business. I sucked when I got in. I wasn't very good. Now, certainly I kind of I mean, we actually did kick butt when we first got in. But I don't want them to know that. I don't want them to know that we did 100,000. My team did 100,000 in 2 months. 2 months we submit 100,000 in premium. So we actually did kick butt, but I don't want them to know that. I want them to know that I was terrible. I'm not very good. I wasn't very good. Built a team. Have over 208 writing agents. Turned over last month 1,015, I think, applications. We did over 700,000 issue paid. I mean, what else do you need to know? The business works, right? I mean, and I suck. I'm not that good. I mean, I replaced my income in 8 weeks, basically, and I wasn't that good. So, and then I just went into, you know, why the corporate world sucks. You know, I wasn't the right color, I wasn't the right race to be in the good old boy club. And that was frustrating, right? When you see all these white guys, no females in there, all these white dudes playing golf with the president of the company. Like, I was not invited. And I look at my skin color, I look at myself in the mirror, it's like, I get it. I get it, I'm not the right type. I was the right gender, but not the right type. It's like, I don't want to play a game. I mean, this is the way I was talking to him. Like, really, Seriously, it was fun. I hope they get in. I think they did, but very different. And I show the plan next Wednesday, and I'm going to do the same thing because it was fun to do it. Like Frank, speaking plainly, not flowering it up like, this is the alliance. This is why the alliance worked. This is my friend Andy Albright. He mentored me. He's wonderful. I mean, I said that stuff, but I said it straight up. Not like, Mr. Corporate Robot, this is a PowerPoint presentation. This is why the alliance works. It's like, man, throw that out the window. I'm sick of that crap. I'm sick of, maybe I'm getting in my old age or whatever. But man, I'm sick of the formality of, showing the plan. It's like stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like, why do you need to be so formal in front of people? Well, Alex, they're used to corporate presentations. You should be more corporate. You should wear a suit and then be more corporate so you appeal to all the professionals out there trying to get into our business. Man, talk to someone else because that ain't me. I mean, seriously, man, that's so stupid when you think about it. Why do I got to be so formal? People want to know if they can make money. I've made money and I suck. I'm not that good. I'm not even white, and I've made money in this thing. So you should be able to kill it. You should make way more money than me, right? Golly. Anyway, that's how I'm going to do it next Wednesday. So if you want to see a different kind of plan, plug in next Wednesday, man, at 9 p.m. Eastern. And I'm going to probably do way more. There's a tape in the Amway business called Pigs Don't Know Pigs Stink. Bruce, that was a little bit more of what I was doing a Pigs Don't Know Pigs Stink plan. I showed the numbers though. And I'm going to do it next week. Like, I'm sick of being formal. I mean, you guys know what I'm saying? Like, am I speaking out my butt or what? I mean, you guys, I don't know what got into me, but I'm just like, we need to go, man. We need to start building this thing. We need to start making money. Like, there's money in this thing. You know what I mean?
Just like what Andy was saying yesterday, the TWC said all these people that have been around for 10, 12 years and aren't making the big money, and he's bringing on these new agents, and they're looking at those people. It's like, do I have to stick around for 12 years to make good money? And he was saying, don't tell them you've been in that long. Just say, I'm a new guy too. It's money's here. Big money is available right away. I mean,
you know what? That's exactly what it is. I didn't tell them how long I've been with the Alliance. I didn't tell them I've been with it from the beginning. I didn't say nothing. I didn't even say how old I was. I didn't say when I got in. As far as they know, I got in 3 years ago. I've made $12 million. I didn't say that. Okay, but I'd say how long I've been in this deal. I didn't say how many. What?
Did you tell them your birthday was on the 26th?
I might have. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I didn't want them to think I was turning 60. Because I'm an old fart. That's one thing about this. No offense to all you old people like me, but if I hire a 72-year-old, how long are they going to be around? I'm not going to make override on them for what, another 5 years if they do make it. I need to find 30-year-olds that I could override after I'm dead. I mean, let's be practical, right? Like, again, if you're hiring people, you need to hire young people. Like, I don't care if you're 70 years old. You need to hire 30-year-olds. At least you're earning overrides on them while they're still working and they've got a lot of energy. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no offense to old people, but because I'm old, I don't need another 80-year-old. Does that make sense? I need to pour my energies into 30-year-olds and 40-year-olds so they can continue to produce beyond my lifetime. Let's be practical, right? Like, I mean, let's just speak truth here. This thing, you can make a lot of money. I made a lot of money. We did 100 grand our second month. Why? Because we believe this thing worked. I didn't know what I was doing. Noel Leventovich and Patrick Connors, they didn't know what we didn't know what we were doing. We just went out there, called these leads, sat down with them, covered them. Like, we had never signed one, run an appointment. We have so much more crap for you guys to watch and videos and all this stuff. We had nothing. They gave us a script. That's all we had. We only had one product. F&G home certain. We had stupid postcard leads. Stupid postcard leads. Know what I'm saying? Postcard leads. That's it. Now you guys got all these fancy, like, you know half their history already by the time you get some of these direct mail leads or whatever. Like, we had nothing when we got started. And we blew this thing up, man. My income doubled and doubled and doubled and doubled. I mean, we just, like, it blew up, right? We're doing primary mortgage protection back then, but it's like, I don't know why you guys can't do what we did. We had less, way less training. We had less, but we figured it out because no one's going to help us. I think what it was is, like, I'm firstborn. So how many of y'all are firstborn out there? There's this birth order book that is so true. Same for my kids. Firstborn, I don't need anyone to show me nothing because I didn't need a brother or sister to show me stuff. I had to struggle on my own, but I didn't know any different. Does that make sense? I didn't know any different. I didn't know it was supposed to be a certain way or I was supposed to do a certain thing. I made all the mistakes on my own. I learned all that stuff on my own. That's why sometimes I tend to have little patience with people that are not like how I am. And that's something I've had to work on for years, right? That people that can't figure it out. And it's like, I was firstborn, I figured it out. I don't care. I mean, I didn't have anyone to show me. So that to me is like, that should be normal life, right? But some of y'all that are middle children and last children or whatever, you've always had someone to show you how to do stuff, how to be. You always had those. I never had it. So maybe that's why we blew up when we first got in. But you got a better opportunity now. Oh my gosh, you could sell over the phone. That was not a concept for us. We had to do paper applications. We had to run rates on our laptop. We had little discs. We had floppy disks that we ran rates. We ran rates before we went there. I forgot how we had to do our laptops, or yeah, that's how I guess we had to do it on our laptops, on the little floppy disks. We didn't have smartphones. The most we had were Motorola flip phones. Now I'm starting to sound like the old guy, right? It's like, I'm serious, man. Y'all don't have any excuse whatsoever to not be freaking kicking butt. You know what I mean? Like, compared to us, I don't know, man. Maybe it's just different culture, I'll get some water. Different culture, different society, maybe millennials or whatever, Generation X, Generation Y. Maybe it's a different generation and you need spoon feeding instead of being like toughing it out and figuring it out. Like, I'm here to help you, okay? So, I mean, that's my charge. I will help you as much as possible. I don't want you to bang your head against the wall. But, you know, when I look what I did, it's like, screw it. I'm going to call the carrier and they're going to teach me underwriting, right? I'm not going to rely on anyone else. I'm going to call the carriers and the carriers are going to teach me underwriting. They taught me underwriting and that's how I learned. I called the carriers, right? I called the carriers. They taught me. They spent hours on the phone with me and I asked them every kind of question to figure it out and they taught me. Anyway, I'm ranting, I know. But I look at like new people and I just see them kind of tiptoeing. Okay, am I making the right move? Am I going to make a mistake? And it's like, man, I didn't give a squat. I want to make all my mistakes as fast as I could out of the way so I can get to the part where I'm making money. I did as much as I could. I spent every minute outside of my job because I was still working. Getting better. Anyway, now I sound like the old guy. Probably why is because there's no time to waste, man. You come from a funeral and it makes you think you don't got a lot of time. You have this fallacy that you got time. You ain't got time, man. I don't got time. I could go tomorrow. I've been hearing some people dying of COVID, right? Like boom, boom, boom kind of. And it's like, well, all right. It can happen to me. You know, Ginny could be dead. Ginny could have breast cancer and she'd be dead. right? But thank God she's alive. So what are y'all waiting for? We should have way more 10,000 issue paid people on our team than we have. And I don't know if I'm putting a blanket on everybody. I must be putting a blanket on everybody because, man, I am not doing my job motivating anybody to do more than, to be more than what you are. And it's probably my fault. Now look at the talent on this. My gosh, we've got so many people on here that could be like so great. Golly, look at this. So it must be me. It must be me. I hope I don't have new people on here that are thinking, oh crap, you mean his team sucks? No, I've got people on my team, my bigger team. Thank God I got a hierarchy of 208 writing agents, man. Okay, so let's okay, let's stop ranting. Just go to a funeral. Go to the next funeral that you can find and stand in there, and the person laying in that casket, and wonder, that could be you, and what will they say about you? What will you have accomplished? It's like, man, you ain't got time. I don't have time. I'm just like urgent. What are you waiting for? There's nothing to wait for. You got to break out and you got to start doing this thing, man. Seriously, you got to start doing this thing. Let's get some leads. Let's go. Let's go. I sent out a whole bunch of leads that have come in. Was it this morning, I think? I think this morning I sent out a bunch of leads, partial orders that were filled. You know, the lead order actually went out Tuesday. We've already got a bunch of it back on Thursday. And I think we'll get the rest of them on Friday. Anyway, let's talk about selling instead of ranting. I need you guys, man, to realize your potential. It's just, I feel like God is going to say, you could have done so much more. And I just don't want to hear that. Alex, you could have done so much more for your team. It's like, oh, I don't want to hear that, man. Lord, don't let me hear that. All right, so who's got questions? Who's got sales questions? Let's text me, or I mean, chat at me. Anybody have any sales questions? Because I don't honestly have any agenda of what I want to talk about when it comes to selling, other than we all need to do more. We all need to do more. I can do more in what I'm doing. I'm just thinking, just trying to get these people to move. I'm more project management, but like, what can I do to help you? Yeah, weekends are the best days to help clients. They really are, man. The best time to dial is Saturday morning. Saturday morning is the highest connect time for me anyway. And by the way, these latest batch of TLP leads, I have been getting, and this comes from Patrick's people too. Like Julie Hemer, she got 8 of her 30 leads, 36 leads, she got 8. She dialed 8, like 8 picked up the phone, and she booked like 7 of the 8. And this last batch of TLPs. So I don't know if the lead quality is going up or what, but anyway. Any other questions? Best way to word this. Word it.
If I have a second, let me think about this. Right now, with the leads that we have, or we purchase, things of that sort, we are working the individuals. We're finding out what they need. We're getting the qualifying questions, and we're placing them with the providers that we work alongside. Now, my question is, as a network, are we collectively trying to outsource to other carriers, or is this all we have? Because I know sometimes some people just don't fit with what we have, and there might be companies that we can get them to fit in. So what's your mindset on that?
Well, I think we have plenty of carriers. The only thing is, it's the kind of thing, it's like, so when you got married, Todd, you married your spouse, but you didn't, were you thinking that you could have found a better spouse? Like, maybe I could have married someone better.
Yeah, but that's yeah, I'm not trying to be facetious. It's not the same mindset. I'm just saying, because I don't like dropping people. I mean, there's people that we could build and do other things with. I know if we get AHIP, there's other avenues you can do, but there's people that, like, I have people that want to be insured, and sometimes they just, some of our carriers, they look at them and they just won't go here. And it sucks that with my network, I'm broader than just the ABN network. I don't like sending things outside our network, but sometimes I have to, and it's unfortunate when it seems like some of the people that we have, I could talk to an underwriter, they can stop looking at us as just numbers and actually take the time and underwrite, ask the questions, look at people's background, and really go ahead and issue policies. You know, and it's not all the time, but there's been a few that I'm looking at that I have policies on my clients, and it's just like, how come we couldn't get them with Mutual of Omaha? Why couldn't we get them with, you know, Transamerica?
Okay, I don't, you know, I'd have to deal with that on a case-by-case basis, but it's like, love the one you're with. I know it's not the best analogy, but like, we are placing everything we can with the carriers that we can place them with. And there's very few that we can't, right? The only problem is when you think that you have a better company that's not our company, then you're placing with them. You can't do that on our leads because that goes against the contract. So hopefully you're not doing with our leads because you're violating the contract. So people that are following the contract, we have this set of carriers that we can work with. And so your deal is field underwriting, trying to get them with a carrier. There are people that are very good with CFG enforcers working the underwriters with a client that has a medication issue, that they're taking a medication for a certain issue, but not the one that they would be declined on. We've been working those, and we've had success with overturning underwriting judgments. Okay, so you can talk to me, dude, all day long about that, but I look at Megan Wood, I look at all these other people that seem to be doing pretty damn good with the carriers that they got. Like, for every case you tell me, I've got these other agents that are killing it with our carriers, right? So like, it becomes kind of a, you can get in the weeds and get real technical with it, but like, I am not telling my people that, you know, you got to evaluate 20 different things so then you can find, you know, the carrier that will take. It's like, let's do the path of least resistance and get them covered, right? And maybe this company is $1 more a month, but at least we get them underwritten. That's kind of how I look at it, right? So, you know, your approach is not my approach. When I got in this thing, all we had was one carrier, dude. We only had F&G Life. Or, yeah, F&G Life. Home Certain. That's all we sold. In fact, part of our call on the phone was, have you ever had cancer, heart attack, or stroke? They said yes. It's like, sorry, I can't help you. We go to the next lead. That's what we used to do. We would filter out all the ones we knew we couldn't cover, and we sat down with the ones that we could. Does that make sense? We sat down, and then we started getting broader underwriting guidelines, and then we'd be able to cover them, right?
That makes a lot of sense. Like I put in the chat, it just goes down to, as you mentioned before, it's just volume. Purchase more leads, have more individuals to talk to. Everyone's not going to fit, but the more you have, the more that will. That's all. Okay.
Okay. The premise, though, okay, the premise of not everyone's going to fit, there's very few that they can't fit into. Like, we got guaranteed issue. Now, granted, guaranteed issue starts at age 40 and goes to age 80. You know, there are like certain situations that, like, but it's not that many. And then when I think about, like, one hole that we're trying to fill, is guaranteed issue below the age of 40. Okay, so like, yeah, we don't have a guaranteed issue below age 40. And so there's this one company that we were talking to, and still, I think we're still trying to talk to them, that would get us guaranteed issue below the age of 40, okay? Now, I've got guys in New York, dude, all they have is Foresters, Transamerica, and National Life Group. Our New York agents only have 3 companies, right? And one of these, and so they're doing what they can do with the products that they have. You know, they could say, oh, well, I wish I had this product, wish I had that product. Well, they don't. But we are trying, like we're trying to get Gerber up there. They don't have a guaranteed issue in New York. Now, we take guaranteed issue for granted because we can get everyone covered with guaranteed issue, right? Outside of New York, but my New York guys are going, God, please, there are some carriers up here. So we've been trying to get Gerber up there for the longest time. And Gerber is just, you think it's easy to get contracted with all these companies. Sometimes it's not easy. And we're not even looking at, it might even be a super low commission rate. Kind of like guaranteed issue is kind of a low commission rate, but at least we got something for them. That's kind of how we're approaching filling some of these holes. Let's get a company that at least will give us something. I mean, I almost don't care if I make hardly any money on it. It's just, I'd like to, you know, I think that's kind of where you're coming from is let's, you know, get something we can cover someone with. Well, I think we've been creative enough to be able to fill the holes. Like, again, like what specifically? Because if it's guaranteed issue below age 40, we're trying to work on that. I don't know if I'm still pounding Jim Henson on Gerber, because Gerber, I think, is a company that can go below age 40 on a guaranteed issue, I believe. But well, I don't know, man. I look at all the other, I mean, your points are valid. However, you know, it's like, love the carriers are with, and let's try to get our clients covered, right? I don't look at it as, oh, I could have had it with, you know, because it's like, well, maybe you're not showing them the right thing. Maybe you don't understand enough about our products that you could put someone, you know, place them in something. Now, if you're talking about IULs and, you know, guarantee, you know, tax-free retirement, I think we have a good set of companies. There might be better companies for tax-free retirement. I don't know, but I think we've got some really good ones, F&G Life and National Life Group. You know, as far as living benefits, I don't know of too many companies out there that have better living benefits than National Life Group, right? Now, we don't have long-term care riders. There are some IULs out there that have long-term care riders, which are more robust than our chronic illness benefit. You know, but look, I don't have those products. So I'm going to sit down with the client and I'm going to say, oh, I wish I had a product that had a long-term care rider. No, I'm going to sell them the best product I have for those living benefits, which is National Life Group, right? Does that make sense? Well, okay, yeah, guaranteed issue is expensive. I know that. That's what's funny, because I have agents asking me, well, they're looking for this, and can we get anything cheaper? It's like, it's guaranteed issue. Their health is terrible. They can't get a regular whole life. So I wish we can get cheaper things for people that are really, really sick. I wish. But we can only get them what we can get them. The rates are the rates, right? With what we have. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, AIG is cheap. AIG is real cheap. You know, and AIG has no renewals. AIG is cheap, you know, 50% advance. Like, understand when you're selling, what you're selling, and like your expectations shouldn't be too high, but at least you got a client covered, right? And then look, it is what it is. Their sickness is their sickness. Now, there's some things I could do to get rid of the old people. Like, I could do our leads, the leads that I'm working with. We can bring it down to age 70 or 60. We can do life leads between the ages of 20 and 60 if you want, right? But you're going to have to take maybe more leads in other parts of the state. And that's the thing we're going to experiment with, is messing with the upper age limits. So if y'all don't want final expense leads of people over the age of 60, we could do that. I don't know what those leads are going to cost. They might be more expensive, but we'll see. You know, so if you guys don't want these people, we don't have to get them. You know, we can maybe do it by campaign. I gotta check that out. Like maybe Todd, if you don't want old people, we'll just give you younger people, okay? And maybe those leads cost you $50 a piece, okay, at the wholesale price, right? But look, if you do better with those young people, then God bless you, man. It'll be worth it to you, right? I'm on cover with the IG, and she has dementia. I'm thankful to have coverage, 140. Yeah. That's the thing. Let's get their kids to buy it on their parents, because someone's going to have to pay for it. Any other questions? That's an important thing, though. You know, Todd, so I appreciate you bringing it up. That's an important point to understand that you got to love the one you're with. You got to love the products that you have, because that's our toolkit. And it's not a small number of products. Okay, can you imagine us trying to teach you 50 companies, you know, with, you know, 100 products? Like, our boot camp's already too much, in my opinion. It's already too much for people to handle. And can you imagine adding more companies and more products? Okay, in this situation, you got to do this product, but here, just slightly, if they're a little bit heavy, then you got to do this product. And then, you know, if they're smoker and they come from, you know, Norway, we got to do this product. And then, you know, then we have like this check down list with 20 different scenarios with 25 different carriers. Like at a point in time, it's like try teaching agents, man. Why don't you come in my place and you try to get agents started that don't know crap about insurance, and we're just trying to get them freaking to do an e-app on CFG, to do a signature, voice signature. Do you know how hard that is? It was by the way, when I got started, it was way easier with one company, one product. I mean, I wish we'd go back to those days, man. One company, one product, and we didn't have to worry about all those other things. We just filtered them out on the phone, and that's when leads were like $8, I think. Yeah, back then they were like $8. But again, you know, 20 years ago, you know, divide that by 1.4, you know, because things are about 1.4 more times. So $8 times 1.4, what is that? Anyway, so, but with our lead program, I think we can do a lot of things. It'll be more complex, but I don't know how complex I want to make it as far as the type of leads, but we can narrow it down. You know, just when you narrow things down, you're going to have to increase the price, and that's just, you know, the game we got to play, right? That's the game we have to play. Does that make sense? We got 10 more minutes. Anyone got any sales questions? It's not like I covered, like I hardly covered anything on sales. All right. Well, I guess if that's it. Yeah, I should probably not do these calls after I come back from a funeral. It's increased my urgency. Like I said, man, go to a funeral, man, and think about yourself being in that casket. And think about all the people around that are like your pallbearer. Who are going to be your pallbearers? And then what are they going to say about you at your eulogy? You start thinking about that, it's like, golly, man, that's crazy. Think about that. So anyway, so please forgive my sense of urgency, but I want you to be urgent. I want you to not think you have time, because you don't, man. You don't have time. You don't. So anyway, man, give me a call. Need some help, whatever. All right, gang, rock on. Thanks, guys, for plugging in. Gals, for plugging in. Thanks for giving me a little grace, man. Give me a little grace. Coming back from a funeral just makes you think. God bless, man.